As I've been reading this book, which I just started today, I just had a thought come to my head. And really, it's because I no longer spend my free time really scrolling on my phone like I used to maybe a year or two ago. And it's that each time you read, rather than just scrolling on your phone mindlessly, you're putting a good future ahead of a pleasant present moment. Many people scroll on their phones because they want to learn about what's going on in the world and how they feel about those things. But other people read because they want to learn about how they can change their future. They recognize that they cannot control those things that are going on in the world right now, no matter how or what kind of emotions they have around those things and what's going on. They prefer to learn about what they can do in the present, what actions they can take to change their future. Crazy, right? Indeed, that was very crazy. But now it's Thursday and I am doing a cardio session. I just skip for 15 minutes, so the jump rope, and then 15 minutes of boxing, 15 minutes of skipping, and then 15 minutes of boxing again. And yeah, the bag's been getting some abuse. It's not holding up too well. But I've been instructed to continue to use it because they've just not changed it over. So we'll see how it holds up. Good news, it did survive. And it's a wonderful evening. I just asked Dorian what's his favorite quote. And I have to say one of mine is from Abraham Lincoln. He said, "Do not worry when you are not recognized, but strive to be worthy of recognition." And speaking of quotes, Socrates said, "Know thyself." It's certainly one of the potentially most well-known quotes. Know thyself. And speaking of knowing thyself, I've got a question for you, which is, what are your 3 strong character traits? It's something me and Dorian also were speaking about recently. And it ultimately just comes down to knowing yourself, both your weaknesses and your strengths. Because when you know your strengths, you're able to lean into what you're good at. And that's how you find leverage in this world. Archimedes, I hope I pronounced that right, Archimedes, this is paraphrased, but he said, "Give me a lever and a place to stand. Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and I can move the world." And it's by knowing your strengths that you can apply and utilize leverage in your life and work the system rather than being stuck in it. And so think about that. What are your 3 character traits? Because there's a difference between someone asking you, what you're good at, or someone even not asking you, but you walking about and boasting or telling everyone about how great you are. There's a difference between that and just knowing yourself and being able to express 3 strong character traits you have. When I thought about this in the shower, actually, the first 3 I came up with for myself were 1, effort, 2, integrity, 3, consistency. And that's just simply because with everything I do, I just strive to push right to the end and put in that extra 10% of effort. And I just like to go out my way just to put in a little bit of extra effort just to, for example, surprise someone or into a gift for someone. Just something as simple as that. But also when it comes down to integrity, which is the second one, I just always strive to do what I feel is right. I feel a strong urge to once again do what's right, just a high level conscience. And by no means am I perfect, of course, but that's the thing. Whenever I know maybe deep down that I didn't do something right, it really just sits inside me. Like, I think most people, maybe they'll know they did something wrong, but they'll just ignore it. But for me personally, it just really bothers me. It just sits inside me and I have to do something about it. I have to go and fix it. Because I just know that I'm here once. You have one life. And I can't just spend my days just thinking, but it's okay. No, I have to go make it right. And number 3, consistency. Just simply because with anything I do, and by anything I don't mean every single thing I've ever done, but things that I commit to, I tend to stay quite consistent. Gym, for example, it's actually been 3 years this month, and I've never taken more than a week off, maybe 2 at most if I went on holiday. And even then I tried to do some exercising. That's not to mean you are not supposed to ever take a good break, but for some reason I just didn't. And yesterday, actually, it was day 101, so today, day 1 of 102 of journaling. It's just something I got into and I stuck to. Simple example. But that's all to say, know thyself. Summer's coming. But anyways, it's exactly with that effort, with that integrity, with that consistency, that I'm building this whole thing, this brand, this business, this mission, brick by brick, step by step, every day. And it's so easy to get caught up in the routine that you're just living your life day to day and every day is just passing by, just another day, because you're not really present, you're not thinking about what's going on, or maybe you don't zoom out quite often, and people very often get stuck in this routine. And that's all to say, it feels crazy. It's been a year already, over a year since I kind of started these ventures, and yet still I just, every day, brick by brick. And I know there will come a point where eventually success will start growing exponentially, because that's just how it is with all things. Success usually is not linear, it's exponential, and that's why most people give up, because in the beginning they're in the plateau, or it's called the valley of despair, I think is what James Clear called it. And that's where people give up. But despite this, I'm showing up every day. And that's why I'm saying, I know in the future people are probably going to say, overnight success and all, but really I'm just showing up every day and once again putting down brick by brick and step by step. And I hope you do the same, and I wish the same for you. So as always, go out, do incredible things, and be mega. Ciao.